Welcome in, everybody. Kule Agbayani for the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. And I'm excited for this week's Mana Wahine Wednesday featured student athlete from the University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine volleyball team, senior libero, Tayli Ikenaga. Tayli, how are you? Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
All right, Tayli, before we get into any of the actual volleyball stuff at UH, I want to kind of go back and have the audience learn a little bit more about you, not only as a player, but also a person. Obviously, we got to give a shout out to your high school alma mater, that is Moanalua High School, because we are the home of the OIA for the last few years. So take us down memory lane a little bit about your time playing and being a student there at Moanalua.
I love Honolulu. I mean, it's such a really fun environment and just getting to play volleyball there with all the coaches like Coach Allen and Yoshi. It's just a fun experience to be able to be a part of, and I'm super proud to be a grad from Honolulu. Yeah.
And Coach Allen, very successful on the coaching end and also a
Oh
teacher
yeah.
as well. Did you have him as one of your science teachers when you were there?
No, I didn't. I had Chad Yoshizawa as my math teacher, but I've never had him as my science teacher before.
I'm curious to see if he was like a tough teacher like
Yeah,
you
me too.
coach.
I'm glad I didn't have him.
Better that way to not see him at both the volleyball court and as a teacher.
Yeah.
So did you play any other sports growing up, and what or who got you into playing volleyball?
So I originally played basketball when I was younger, but my older sister would play club ball and I would always show up to like the practices with my dad and he kind of got me into it and he would just like throw balls at me on the side while my sister's practicing. So I kind of started from there and then eventually me and my sister both played club volleyball as we started growing up. So yeah, my sister kind of influenced me to play volleyball.
So up until now, for the bragging rights, who is the better all-around volleyball player?
Oh, I would say me for sure because she has not touched the ball since high school and I try to pepper with her on the beach and stuff and it does not go well.
And we are joined by a senior libero on the Rainbow Wahine volleyball, Tayli Ikenaga. All right, back again to Moanalua, won the OIA championship in 2018. You're also selected as the OIA East Player of the Year. So all of that notable accolades as in high school. When did you realize that playing at the collegiate level was a possibility?
I think since high school, like the start of high school, my parents would like talk to me and like see if I really wanted to continue volleyball because I mean they invested so much money into club and all that and so they were wondering if I wanted to continue and I knew as like in high school I'm short, so I didn't have like the opportunity to play outside at a D1 college. So just knowing that I had options to play libero and kind of make that transition was exciting to me, and I was just really stoked that I had the opportunity to come to UH to play. So,
Yeah. Were you recruited by any other schools, or were you looking at other schools, or was it always the University of Hawaii? And if it was, why the UH?
um, originally when I first entered high school, I really wanted to move away, maybe like stay on the West Coast, but as I kind of got into in senior, I was talking to schools, a bunch of like West Coast schools, but nothing really interest my or sparked my interest. And I did visits here and there, and it was all like the same walk-on position. So eventually I had the opportunity to walk on here at UH. So I might as well wanted to stay home and play in front of my family and just represent the 808. So I knew that I wanted to stay home.
Yeah. And what was that recruiting time for you? Because you were right in the middle of it during that time of the pandemic when everything shut down. So if you can share a little bit about what you were going through in terms of just being recruited and finishing up high school and all of that, dealing and handling all
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Yeah. So I believe it was my junior year. So kind of before COVID happened, I kind of made the commitment of being at UH. And then COVID happened, and then I didn't have a senior season at UH or at Moana Lua. So that was really sad and everything wasn't how it was before. So just being able to kind of experience the whole Zoom thing, talking to coaches, talking to Coach Rob them was very different but at least I got an opportunity to do some of like the combines before COVID happened, which was really good. So yeah, COVID kind of messed up everything.
Yeah, but like you said, at least you kind of already had your decision made up and knew where
Yeah,
you
I'm
were
grateful
going.
for that.
Yeah, I can't imagine having to do all of that, not only from a player perspective and coaching, and you can't even meet the coaches in person,
Right.
all of
Right.
that whole thing, as we are joined by Rainbow Wahine volleyball libero Tayli Ikenaga. All right, so after Moanalua, coming over to the University of Hawaii. Now you are a student athlete, and you have quite a few accolades as a student as well, being at the University of Hawaii. But tell us a little bit about what you're studying and why.
So I'm doing elementary education. I just really enjoy working with children, and I just wanted to do something that I know I'm gonna be very passionate about and give back to the community. So I got into the College of Ed last year. So this is my second year in the program, and I'm just really excited to work with other children. So
Shout out to you. You must have a lot of patience.
I try to. They're definitely teaching me patience.
Teaching you along the way. Learn
Yeah,
as you go.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Looking ahead at your volleyball career at the University of Hawaii, started along with Emperor Igidi, started all of those matches your freshman year, and the last couple of seasons had to battle it out with Talia Edmonds. So, can you share a little bit about what that was like in terms of going from starting every match to now having to compete, and share from your perspective and for other young athletes that may have to go through that is like, oh, you're the starter and now you're having to fight and claw every bit for your playing time.
Right. So when I first got to UH, my parents were telling me all the time, like, because you started in high school doesn't mean you're gonna be starting at college, and you still gotta work really hard to get where you want to be. So I mean, I took that and I knew that, I mean, I would push myself to be a starter. If I didn't start, that would be okay. I just wanted to work my way up. But once I got that starting position, I knew that like I had to keep working harder and harder every time I practiced just so I can keep that starting position. And it was just really exciting to have like Janelle there with me, pushing me, and just having that upperclassman like kind of lead the way for me. And then as I got into last season, definitely I think I had a funk going into that season and just trying to, I guess, over mental, it was a lot of mental stuff going on with school and volleyball, where I was missing a lot of school because of the College of Ed. I had to like do student teaching, and then I would miss practices, or I would miss teaching because of traveling. So it was a lot of mental stuff going on, but having to talk with the coaches and really just watch Talia from the sideline really kind of mentally prepared me and just saw what I was missing and what she was providing on the court. So it was a lot of mental stuff. So for those future athletes out there, mental is a huge game inside volleyball, and it's more than just physical, and just being mentally strong is super important and something that I'm continuing to learn still. And it's definitely hard, but I mean, you get through things as long as you're continuing to have communication with others, your teammates, your parents, coaches. I mean, yeah, that's very helpful at the same time.
Yeah, I'm glad you shared that. That seems to be the common thing that I've heard from multiple student athletes that I've interviewed about. And this has nothing to do with even them losing any starting time, but that's
Yeah.
seems to be the common thing. Just make sure you're mentally strong. And then from there, the rest somewhat takes care of itself. Obviously, you do have to put in the physical work as
Right,
well.
right.
But if you're putting in all that physical work, sometimes your game doesn't show up because you're just going through other outside things as well. But so I'm so glad you
Mhm.
shared that about the last season as we are joined by Tayli Ikenaga from the Rainbow Wahine volleyball team. All right, now looking ahead to this season, what were some of the things you did for training in the summer? As we know, you guys will get started with your two days here in just a couple of days this week. But yeah, share a little bit about what goes into the summer training. Even following, you guys had some spring matches in March against
Mhm.
UNLV, Colorado State, and Notre Dame. But from there and throughout the summer, as you guys gear up to your official camp, what has that looked like so far?
Yeah, so during the spring, it's a lot of individual work where we're trying to doing small groups and really kind of personalize each position. So with the coaches, so they really get that one-on-one playing time. But for me during the spring, it was a lot different. I barely practice with the team because of student teaching. So I had the opportunity to work with Coach Nick on one-on-one with him, which is super fun. And I had me and him talk story all the time. So I'm really glad I got to work with him. And then going into the spring matches, it was definitely a big change going from all those seniors as the starters until going to this spring match. I mean, it was definitely really fun, but just kind of getting into the groove of playing again and being with new people on the court was really challenging, but it's a good challenge for us. And then during the summer, we kind of had our off season. We kind of got to go home, everybody rests. But for me, especially being from home, I mean, I have the opportunity to work out with other coaches and strength coaches on the side. So that's very helpful for me. And then we just got into, we just started our summer training in July, and we were doing weights, a lot of open gym. This year we started beach conditioning out on the beach courts, which was really exciting and definitely hard, but we love we love to run. So yeah, that's definitely gearing us up for double is coming on Thursday. So we're really excited.
Yeah, and opening the season on Friday, August 30th against last year's American Athletic Conference champs SMU, who with all of conference realignment is now part of the ACC. So obviously you guys are looking forward to the season opener as always, but also some pretty interesting non-conference matches on your schedule, including the defending national champs is Texas on September 20th. And you guys also play a special Polynesian night at UNLV, somewhat
Mhm.
rematch of the spring, but this game
Yeah.
actually really does matter at UNLV at Cox Pavilion. Are you looking forward to a couple of these games, or maybe what are some of the games that you are looking forward to, both non-conference and in conference?
I think we're trying to prepare for the preseason, knowing that it's going to be very challenging with playing Texas and SMU and all the Pepperdine. But I think this is going to be a really good challenge for us to see where we are and how we can use that to our advantage going into a Big West conference and stuff. But I think Texas is all for sure the one on our target, knowing that they're defending national championships. We can prove ourselves and prove to everybody else that we can keep up with them and just showing them what Wahine volleyball is like. So, and I'm really excited to play UNLV again because I all the Hawaii girls
Yeah,
know them very well. So I'm super excited to see them.
I know that's always fun when you get to play against like people you already know from like your high school
Hmm.
days. Remind me, is
Yeah.
there still at least one Hawaii girl in Texas as well? I know there was quite a few when they won the championship, but I think one or two
Yeah.
graduated. Um,
Kayleigh is still there. I think Devin's still there. And then I know Rella just transferred or not transferred, just graduated and is going to Texas too. So
See?
yeah.
So that'll be a fun match going on to this season. Again,
Yep.
season opener Friday, August 30th. All right, Tayli, before we let you go, just a couple of fun questions for you. Actually, I take that back. One more serious question, but you
Okay.
kind of already answered it. Following your collegiate playing career and when you wrap up in college, what's your future career plans, even though you partially answered it already?
Yeah. Definitely want to become a teacher starting off maybe like third grade, right in the middle. I want to try out third grade and just anywhere, maybe stay in the DOE for now and then eventually maybe go private school, but I just want to be a teacher and give back to the community.
I love it. And I'm going to thank you for your service in advance because being a teacher is not easy. So we commend all of our teachers, especially those that start in the public
Yeah,
school system. As we know, they're not afforded the same amenities that some of the
right.
private school teachers have. All right. So now time for some of the fun questions. The Olympics are going on. So aside from volleyball, what is your favorite Olympic sport to watch?
I really like to watch gymnastics, just watching Simone Biles and Suni Lee. That's like so incredible to know that like their body can do all of that. And it's insane. It's so insane.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite sports as well. How about just in general, aside from volleyball, what is maybe a sport that you keep up with, either at UH or professionally, and maybe who's your favorite athlete?
I really I play like basketball with my boyfriend on the side, so that's really fun. But I also like to play pickleball. Like that's been very popular and I tried it out for the first time and it's actually very competitive and the pickleball community is very big. So that was super fun. But yeah, I would say an athlete I look up to, I would have to say maybe Simone Biles for sure. Like all that the mental stuff that went on but happened and it's really cool to see that she identified that and took her out and got herself right before she wanted to compete again. It's very inspiring to watch and know that her mental health was more important. So
Hmm.
I give her praise.
Me too. I've been singing her praises for the last couple of weeks on the show as well because she's just been so incredible. And at the
Mhm.
uh, quote, air quote, old age of 27 for a gymnast, especially, she's been phenomenal. Okay, going
Yes.
back to a little bit of volleyball travel, what is your must-haves in your carry-on bag?
Ooh, I definitely need my AirPods and I need melatonin for the airplane ride. That's like so important. I can't sleep without it and yeah, if not, I'm gonna be so grouchy.
And now, we said briefly about conference realignment. Now, a lot of these former Pac-12 schools are going to experience what Hawaii athletes have had to
Yep.
experience full time and traveling over
Yeah.
5 hours on the airplane. So they'll probably be calling you up for it, the Hawaii athletes. What is on your pregame playlist? Hopefully, I know these songs because you're a lot younger than me. So
Ooh.
let's maybe hopefully I know the songs.
Pregame playlist. I don't have any specific song, but I like to listen to Drake, um, some SZA. I like some R&B, nothing like really, really hype, but like something that will soothe me. Some R&B, old R&B is really good. And then I like to listen to Post Malone a lot too.
Ooh, I love Post Malone. Good one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I love it. You're one of those athletes that like to not get too hyped before the
Yeah.
game and just visualize. All right. What is your favorite meal on a cheat day?
Ooh, a cheat day. Oh, I have to go to again and get Korean barbecue.
Ooh.
That's mine.
Now, I hate when I ask the food questions because then I instantly get hungry. Going to again. All right. During the training though, what does your usual I hate saying diet, but what do your nutritional habits look like when you are in season?
Yeah, well, typically during season, I try to eat healthy, but because we're like practicing twice a day, I'm like losing so much calories and stuff. I give myself some cheat way where I can eat a little bit more snacks, but I try to cut down on all like the sugars and stuff, but if I have to, I'll eat my sugars.
You're like, oh shucks, I have to eat sugars. Oh no. All right. Final one for you. Who is your favorite volleyball player? Either of all time, or
Oh.
maybe if you want to break it up into someone that doesn't play anymore and maybe a current favorite volleyball player.
Growing up, I would say Ali Longo was really inspiring for me. Just going to the stand and watching her play, it's like insane how good she was, and it really inspired me to be where she is now. And yeah, I'm very grateful to be in the position I am, where I'm kind of following her legacy of being a libero.
Any current players that you kind of also gravitate towards?
Um, I have to say Amber Igidi. She's just such an amazing person on and off the court. She's like the funniest person I've ever met in my life, and she's just a hard worker. And she's doing amazing stuff, and I'm so proud of her.
No, we got a chance to chat with Amber too, and she is phenomenal. I will,
She is.
echo all the everything that you said about her. Okay, before I let you go, and again, thank you for taking the time to join us. But before we let you go, just anything you want to say to the Rainbow Wahine volleyball fans that may be listening.
Oh, yes. I just want to thank you guys so much for all your support because Hawaii it wouldn't be Hawaii without you guys. You guys make this place so unique and special, and being able to play in the stand and just have that support on your back all the time is just so inspirational. And even in like away games, we have a bigger fan base than the home team. So it's actually it's so awesome to see you guys come out, and we just really appreciate you guys, and we love you.
Awesome. Well, Tayli, I better let you go and have fun getting into those tour days here in the upcoming days. But thank you so much for taking the time to join me while you still have some time to do things. But have a great season, and we'll probably catch up with you once the season starts coming around. But thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be on this. Thank you.